Alright, so come to the non-thrilling conclusion of my very unpopular series on Ayurveda versus traditional Chinese medicine eating windows for hair and vitality or longevity. I keep switching them, or I did switch them with two other videos. So to review, breakfast, eat that between 7 and 9 for Chinese medicine, 7 to 8 for Ayurveda. For lunch, 10 to 2 for Ayurveda, suggested 12, or 11 to 1 for Chinese medicine because it's the heart time. Breakfast is the spleen time, lunch is the heart time, give the spleen some, or stomach time. Breakfast is the stomach time, give the stomach something to digest. Lunch is the heart time, which gets the food into the circulation, into the bloodstream for circulation. And then dinner is kidney time, 5 to 7. Let's start with Ayurveda. So this is, they're pretty much aligned here. This is by far the hardest meal for me to get done, to be on time with. Historically, I just totally ignored all this. Not that I knew about it, but I would eat at like 9, 10 o'clock at night. And it's really difficult in modern living to do this because, like, sometimes you work until like 7 and then you got to commute home, and it's like you don't eat until 9 o'clock. That was me 10 years ago. Yeah, so it's very challenging to get a early meal. Like if you have kids, like forget about it. They have after school activities. They're playing soccer until like 7, and you eat afterwards. Really, the system is set up against us. It's just how it is. But this is our biology. Our cosmic energy is supposed to be aligned with this information, with this schedule. So for dinner, for Ayurveda, it's 6 to 7 because, yeah, peak sluggish time. You don't want to get something. I just want to start over. This peak sluggish time, but you don't want to eat too late because things can really slow down afterwards, and then you have to digest it, which you don't want to do while you're sleeping. Both philosophies, you don't want to digest while you're sleeping, so you eat early. Now Ayurveda, and they're both pretty much the same in terms of why you do it. So Ayurveda, you want to eat a small warm meal for the main purpose of grounding what's called Vata, which I went over in some of the other videos, which is air, ether, element, energy pattern, and that's what often triggers a male imbalance that causes male pattern baldness. I definitely have it. It's when you get your energy gets scattered, you get too hyperactive, too much movement, too much irregularity, too much thinking, too much worrying, and you get up kind of in the clouds, and you need to ground that. So food helps ground Vata, because Vata strives on emptiness. Your stomach's empty, you're going to be more anxious, you're going to be more irritable, you're going to be more volatile. So it's really the purpose of grounding Vata, and then you'll have a better night's sleep, because it's very difficult to go to sleep if your thoughts are racing, your mind's racing, not your brain, your mind. Your mind is different than your brain. Your mind's racing, it's very difficult to sleep, which I can attest to as I've skipped this meal and done a lot of fasting in the past. You don't sleep that well when you skip dinner. So you want to fill that emptiness to ground your anxiety, to relax, have a good night's sleep. You can't eat too late, because then that's disruptive to the stomach and to your liver. And if you eat a heavy meal, again, same thing. It's very hard to digest. And then the other thing it does is, so besides calming you down, pacifying all that volatility, is that it helps build Ojas, which is vitality in Ayurveda. That's their vital essence substance, and it comes from digestion, and it's responsible for building all your tissue. So yeah, tissue regeneration, very important for that. It's very similar in Chinese medicine, because in Chinese medicine, dinner is during the kidney time, which is the organ that's responsible for storing their vital essence, called Jing. So the meal is mainly to support the kidneys. It has to be before 7 in their efforts to, what does it say, filter, store, and replenish. Replenish the essence, store the essence, replenish tissues, or store what the body needs to build tissues the next day, or overnight during our, really overnight, that's our peak recovery time. And it's got to be light because you don't want to overburden the kidneys. They need a little something, but they don't need a lot. If you give it a lot, then we'll have to reallocate resources to digesting food, and that's not really the job. And they need as much chi as possible during that time period to do their job, and that just, big meals take away from that chi. I think that's how it goes anyway. Some of the stuff I'm just kind of intuiting, but I'm getting like a better feel for all of this. I think that's probably right. If I had to verify that with the AI search, it probably would say, yeah, it's pretty much right. All right, so if you don't eat an evening meal, like I said, which I have done because I've done long fasting, which I think serves a purpose, but it's not the way the biohackers say, like, oh, you're going to improve your longevity, reduce all these like risk factors for whatever disease. Like, no, long fasting kills you, and that's what basically it says here. It's a slow death, and that's, like I said, it can serve a purpose, but it's not going to make you physically stronger, at least in the short run, or in the medium run. Maybe in the long run, because it strengthens the spirit, but like Jesus only did one 40-day fast. He didn't keep doing it. He wasn't an intermittent faster. Did it once and done. Like, that's kind of like, because otherwise you're just killing yourself. The biohackers are wrong. Fasting kills yourself. If you don't eat for 12 hours, you start slowly killing yourself. And that's what it says here. So if you miss your meal, one, it's going to aggravate the vata, which is the volatility, the moving too fast, the restless thinking, the irritability, and that's going to make for poor sleep, and then it's going to compound the issue. You're going to be more vata the next day because you didn't get enough sleep. So it just creates this vicious cycle. So you have to eat at night. And then for the Agni, which is their digestive fire, the Ayurveda digestive fire, if you don't eat, then it weakens the digestive fire for the next day. And it's all about digestive fire. Ojas is like the essence of digestive fire, like your digestive essence. Like, it's all about the digestion. Are you properly digesting? That determines your vitality. So if you don't eat, that weakens for the next day. You have to eat something. After you get to the 12, or really 14 hours. If you're in 12 to 14, you're okay. But after 14, you start depleting Ojas. So no 8-hour eating windows, which I did for 7 years, and I'm pretty sure it depleted my Ojas. Definitely didn't make it any better. I definitely aged during that time period. Maybe more so than I do on average. Probably. It wasn't, definitely didn't help. You can tell, 7 years of intermittent fasting, not going to solve the problems. And it's better than snacking, but it's definitely not ideal. Got to do 3 meals. All right, so in Chinese medicine, pretty much the same thing. If you do not eat, then it damages stomach yin, which is like weakening Agni, pretty much. So like, it'll exacerbate a male imbalance because like, the stomach needs the food to get its yin fluids to balance out its yang, and then you have that yin, you have a yang imbalance over the yin. That's going to exacerbate a male imbalance, which is yang. More fire, too much fire. You're going to wake up with night sweats, which I did last night because I got too stressed out about things. Like, we're already wired this way. As much as I do to balance out the yin and yang, I got to overcome this wiring ultimately, which is very difficult to do. The wiring is for yang. USA, the culture here is yang. Go, go, go. Do, do, do. Think, think, think. All day. There's no meditation. There's no... we're eating late at night. We're eating regular meals. We're eating burritos in the cars. We're driving. We're commuting, whatever. Driving kids somewhere. Like, it's all... The system's designed against us. They're set up against us. As my teacher buddy Kevin used to say. Anyway, the other thing it does is along the same lines. So it causes chi stagnation and rising empty heat. So male imbalance, you get liver yang, you're unable to anchor the yang. I guess that's really like it's affecting the liver. There's blockages in the chi flow, the life force flow, and it's going to so you have rising heat in the body, which is what I think expands the skull, and it's pretty much the same in Ayurveda philosophy. You can't balance the fire in the water, the fire element rises into the head, the heat rises in the head and does damage to the scalp. And this is, in terms of your rest, it's going to disturb the Shen, which is the spirit, the mind, and you're going to wake up during the liver period from 1 to 3 a.m., which I can attest to from doing all that fasting. You wake up like at midnight or like a little bit after that. You know, what the hell? Well, how long have I been sleeping? Oh, I've only been sleeping for 3 hours, and then you can't go back to sleep. It sucks. And then finally, this is definitely along the line of weakening agni for the morning. If you skip your meal, or if you miss the window, or you eat at like erratic times, late, early, late, like just dip. The spleen thrives on routine, and so it's going to be disturbed if you don't follow the routine, if you don't eat at the same time every day, more or less, and it's going to weaken its chi, weaken your ability to its ability to extract the chi from our food. The spleen needs chi to extract chi from food, send it down to the kidneys to replenish the essence and support our overall vitality. Pretty much the same in both philosophies. Digestive fire is like the source of your vitality here. And it kind of makes sense though in Chinese medicine, because like the spleen's got to get your vitality from food, or the chi from your food, which gets stored as your vitality. Right? It's all goes to the spleen and the stomach. Digestion has to be good for you to have optimal vitality for whatever age. All right, so meal size, light in both philosophies. Again, you don't want to tax your digestive system. Digestion is weak at night, so you want to eat something enough to ground your anxiety and satisfy your digestive fire, but you don't want to overburden it. And then, so what you want to eat is broth, like bone broth. That's the only like real like meat product that you can eat besides fat. So like ghee is the best fat, from what I understand. But yeah, animal fat's fine. White rice, much better than whole grain rice at this time. Easier to digest. Mung dal is split yellow peas. Really emphasized in Ayurveda because it's tridoshic and sattvic, which is pure. So like it balances all the doshas, satisfies all of them. It doesn't disturb any one of the three. Steamed cooked vegetables, like cook them in the broth, steam them, and then saute them with ghee. And then in Chinese medicine, because it's kidney time, that's annoying. Maybe you couldn't hear that. In Chinese medicine, because it's kidney time, you want to try to incorporate a kidney food. So if it's so like bone broth is a kidney food because you get the marrow, and marrow is what the kidneys like fill with the essence. So anything that the kidneys are responsible for, marrow, kidneys, like brain, then like that's a good food to have, maybe in small amounts. Broth, you can have a moderate amount of broth, but like if it's a meat product like a kidney, you only have a little bit. Or like black beans or black rice, something black but heavy. You have a little bit of it, but not a lot. Because black foods are really good for the kidney. Kidneys like black foods, but they can be heavy. So, like I said, you gotta keep this portion small, but you can eat a moderate amount of broth with white rice, mung dal, and vegetables. Those are all very light. Make a little bit of like a hard kidney food. Unless you have a breakout like I did last night with acne from eating a little bit too much black rice. In that case, you got to cool it off with the kidney supplement. The broth is good enough. Bone broth is good enough. That's really supportive of the kidneys. So, like a perfect meal is just those 4 things. You don't have to do any more. Save the black rice for lunch. Less than I learned last night. Anyway, so that concludes the meal series. So dinner, we want to eat sometime between 5 and 7. 5 is way too early. I have stuff to do. So like between, I try to push it. I really push it. Like 6:30 and 7. Like try to finish eating by 7. Like exactly 7. Finish exactly by 7. Great. Like that's about as good as you can do in this culture. culture in modern living. So, no, it's hard. It is the hardest one for me to nail, and also like not eating too much. That's another thing I got to work on. I used to eat big dinners. Eat 2 meals a day. You will like eat big amounts, so like starving. Eating like giant, like 2 or 3 hamburger patties and globs of fat. You don't do that. You got to keep it lighter. Save that for lunch. Now that you should be eating hamburgers, that's just waste of. I mean, it's okay, but organ meats are better. I'll go over that in another video. That's good enough. And if you want more information about, at least my website's getting better. So there's a resource page there. I got like a whole apothecary section there, and it's about herbs and how to make herbal decoctions, and shampoos and rinses that I've been using, like Ayurveda style, along with some superfood ideas, like where the superfood sources, what superfoods are, Ayurveda and Chinese medicine. Anyway, like there's a lot of good stuff on there on the apothecary resource page, and I got a lot of good stuff on skull expansion. Where there's a lot of other stuff you're gonna have to change, like significantly, because a lot's changed in the last few months. This is radically different than what I've been doing when I started this channel and wrote my website, which was expected. So anyway, but there's good information there on like skull expansion, like how the head shape changing causes male pattern weakness. At the very least, there's a lot of good pictures, like very convincing stuff in my. I wouldn't put it up there if I didn't think it wasn't convincing. Anyway, this video's gone long enough. What is it, 18 minutes? Yikes, no one's gonna watch this. Okay. Yeah, we're done.